Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited. I have been wanting to show you guys this bracelet. So I made this bracelet soon after I made the other one that was really extravagant. I'm looking on my desk to see if I have it handy, but I don't. But anyway, so we're gonna do this one today. Yay! So I'm showing you the gold one. We're going to, of course, make a blue one for my sister. So we'll talk about the blue in a second. Let's talk about this gold one. Bring it up close for you. So, I guess the idea started with these diamond duos, or I'm using gem duos. I have both the diamond duos and the gem duos. I haven't found any size difference. If you have, let me know. I'll take another look at it. But as far as I know, the gem duos work as well as the diamond duos. There's a slight bit of difference in the shape, in the sense that I feel like the gem duos have a bit of kind of a line down the middle, in the sense that it bevels from side to side. But with the diamond duos, it's in quarters. So it actually looks like a faceted diamond. So if you're looking for that, I mean, it's great. Like I said, I have some and I haven't, let me see if I can show you one that I have. I don't notice a big difference when I'm putting it in a bracelet. So the only reason I bring this up is because the diamond duos are a lot more expensive than the gem duos, and I don't have it in this tray. Sorry about that. You know, I have my videos all planned out, seriously. But I am such a squirrel, so that's why my wife calls me baby squirrel. I just get like squirrel talking about different things. But anyway, let me see here. This one is, but it's not that. Oh, here maybe not. So anyway, I went to this one. You might be able to see it a little better. Oh yeah, you can see. You see how it's in quarters? So it's supposed to look like a real diamond. But they're super expensive. They're probably close to twice as much as the gem duos. And the gem duos, there's beautiful colors and finishes and everything. So I would, you know, if you're looking at some gem or some diamond duos and you think, oh, maybe I should check the other ones for price, definitely do and find something close to the same color. So anyway, Art Beads had a sale. I guess it was the Thanksgiving Day sale, and their gem duos were like $1.20 for 10 grams, for like an 8-gram bottle. Let me show you one of their bottles. This is the size of their bottles. So I think they say 60 fit in one of those bottles. So for $1.20, go for it. So anyway, let's take a look here. So this pattern, you use the diamond duos or gem duos in a bigger diamond pattern, and then you're just going to add these fire polished beads on the top and bottom, and then in between each of these diamond patterns we're going to put 3 super duos across using a another fire polish. And then at the end you go through and you add your Swarovskis. Oh, I'm like, I can't believe it. They're so beautiful. I didn't realize, you know what, you can use your Preciosa crystals, bicones. These are 4mm. I do a lot with the Preciosas. They're really beautiful. And then every once in a while I have a big box of all my Swarovski bicones, and I'll pull it out and use them. And of course, from being in the little baggies, they get dirty. I'll show you the blue one here. So these are the blue Swarovskis. But, you know, they're in the bag. They look kind of junky and stuff. And you pull them out. And then you put them on a bracelet and it's like poof, sparkle everywhere. So we're going to do this one. And then I'm going to show you how to finish it to put one of these 3 links clasp on. But you can put any clasp on this. It's just going to take a little bit different of a, you know, dimension here. And you can also, so if you look at this side, this is how I ended it. But you know what? At that point, I wasn't sure if I was going to continue the bracelet. But so I put this, you know, the 4th gem duo. You can, instead of putting a gem duo there, you can put maybe a couple of seed beads there, or a 2mm round fire polish or round druck or fire polish. You can put anything that's going to fit in that slot, and then you'll have a flat surface. You can just put a jump ring and your clasp. So you don't have to go into great detail, but if you want to, stay tuned at the end. Doing these finishes that incorporates your clasp takes almost as long as it does to show you how to make the bracelet. So if you're just going to put your whatever, just remember to leave the one duo out, or you can always put a couple of seed beads along here and along here to your top hole and then add your clasp. So you can do that as well. So let's move this aside. We have it all set to go at the end. Got my needle on it and everything. But the gold turned out incredible. So for the blue, let's talk about that for a second. I did, this was the first one. So I took everything that was blue and put it in there and then highlighted it with the silver beads and the silver Swarovski crystals. I didn't like the way it looked. You tell me what you think of. Sometimes you're too close to it, so you can't see how nice it looks. But I've come back to it a couple of times, like after being away from my office, and looked at it, and I'm like, no, I just think the gold one just totally turned out amazing. So I kind of I like to just up one in the bling factor when I go to the next color. So I wanted this to really go crazy. But anyway, let me know. This was the other one that I did. So I thought maybe it was too much blue. So I put silver superduos in this. And this one's a little better. And here's the other thing too, is I finished this with the beads along the edges here to create earrings like this. So you can do that too. So I mean, this might have looked, actually now that I'm looking at it, it looks pretty good. But, oh, let me just, so we'll get to the colorway that we're going to do now. I also did it in white and clear, so kind of like a frosty snow kind of look to it. So I had these frosted fire polish beads. Let me see if I can show you how, aren't they gorgeous? And then these crazy Swarovskis. In the clear, I'm dying to use these clear frosted gem duos. So this turned out really nice, but you know what? It's really hard for you all to see what I'm doing when it's light colors like this and my thread's white and stuff. So we'll get those off to the side. So what we're gonna use is, we're gonna use these crazy iridescent, I think they call it vitrol, this type of iridescence on the gem duo. Now these are actually dark on the back, but then they have that beautiful color. So we're going to use those. And we're going to use these superduos. So they have like a blue and this metallic color on the edge. And I apologize, I'll try and get the name for these. You can get them pretty much anywhere that sells superduos. And then, of course, your crystals, the 4mm bicones. So, and then for our fire polished, I'm using this one. It doesn't have a name on it. It's some type of gold, coppery kind of fire polish color. And I tried to get it to match the color on the Super Duo. But you can use whatever color. The other thing is, I used 11O Toho Golden Fleece Galvanized for the gold. So what I want to do is I want to put gold with the blue. I felt like the silver was just not working. So that's what we're going to use for that. So we don't need these right away. I'm going to put them off to the side here. And we need our super duos. I was thinking I'd do like I did with the earring piece, like do one set, but actually I think I might do at least two, because it's interesting how you connect one to the next. So like this, right? So I need to show you that. So let's get these. I don't know how many I'm going to need. Don't think I need too many. And get some 11Os out. Put those there. So thread and needle size. I used for the gold bracelet, and you can see it's very kind of, I say flippy floppy. It's loose and it's nice on your wrist. And I used a size 10 needle. Everything went well. You do multiple passes through things. So I used a size 5 or a size 6 beading thread. I do find that this is a little, when you go from the 6 to the 8, there's a huge difference in the thickness and the sturdiness of the thread. But using the 8, I just did it for the end of the clasp here, and I found it really difficult to get through stuff, but it's, I wanted to make sure it was attached to the clasp really well. So I think what I'm getting at is you need to make a decision about it, maybe do a test run with your thread. But this one I'm going to use the size 8. And I'm using a size 12 needle. You definitely need a size 12. Am I on the wrong one here? Where's my thread? I used a size 10 to make the gold bracelet, and it wasn't too bad, but when I went to do the clasp, it was impossible. It broke, and I ended up having to put a size 12. So you could, use a size 10 during the bracelet and then a size 12 after. So grab your thread. You're going to probably use 4 wingspans of thread at different times. So you're going to have to add thread to your bracelet. So right now I have shorter than a wingspan to show you guys. So let me just get these beads out of here. And so you're going to start with your diamond duos. So grab 4 of them. And my tip on doing 2-hole, 2-sided beads is to set them on the mat in the position that you want them. So that's just the easiest. Now, as you get more proficient, you will you won't even, you'll just look at the bead and you'll be sticking your needle in the right spot. But when you get tired, just a hint, it doesn't work that easy. So let's, we want to attach these. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down through the one side like that. So I'm going to just pick that one up and then go through the next one like that. Oops. Like this. And I'll show you what they look like when it's all on there. So then of course you're at the top of this hole. Okay. So now at this point, you can string the next one on and have your thread showing, because we're going to go over it with beads anyway. But I like to, so you can see how it sits nicely. So we're waiting to get this one on. But in the meantime, we have to, if you don't want your thread to show, then we're going to add our first set of beads. And I'm going to have to look at my bracelet because, like I said, I did this, that's probably 2 weeks now. So let's take a look. Okay, so you're going to need your fire polish. So take fire polish, an 11-0. This is going to be the most complicated part of this whole bracelet. So just bear with me. I know it's at the beginning. So this is what you should have if you look at it this way. So you're going to have the first one is in the up position. The second one is in the down. But if you flip it, there it is. Then the third gem duo is in the up position. You're going to add a fire polished, an 11-0, a fire polished. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through this hole here. So we're going to switch from one hole to the next. And then we're going to add our final gem duo. So let me bring this down. And you're going to bring it down so you have enough to tie off. And if you're not sure what you're doing, just flip everything on your mat again. So there's our thread. We're going to come down through this. I'm just going to hang on to this. Go through the next hole like that. And I'll just hold that. You won't be doing this throughout the whole bracelet. Once you get started, you will quickly figure out how to pick things up, and it'll just be so much faster. Okay, so now we need to put our final gem duo. So set it the way you want it. So your thread's coming out of this side here. Let me get you in there. You're coming out of this side. So you want to go through this hole on this side. Like that. Let me get that there. Just thread it. Oops, didn't want to do that. I'm trying to make it so you can see everything, every step. Careful that doesn't go off the bead mat there, like that. And then you're going to go through this hole here. So let's just make sure you're not crossing over your thread here. That. Okay. So let's bring everything through here. Right down. Like that. And we're going to put a fire polish, an 11-0, and a fire polish on this end here, and we'll tie it. And that's our first one. So that's like the most kind of complicated, because once it's attached to a bracelet, it gets so much easier. So fire polish, 11-0, and fire polish. So I'm just going to bring this to the end because I'm not going to bring it through until I tie my knot. And you can actually go through it again and then tie the knot. So actually I might do that. That'll make a little more sense. Just pulling my thread out so that it's not going to slip out. So let's go through everything again. So go through this hole, the second hole, the third hole, through the fire polish. We can draw our thread through. Just hanging on to things like that. Pull this back like that. Okay. And go through the 11-0 fire polish and then through all your gem duos on that side and then back through that fire polish that we just added. Like that. I'm going to check. I think I have a knot in my thread here. There. Okay. So come through this 11-0 fire polish and we're going to tie our knot and the rest is super easy. And you can call me a liar if it's not true. I struggle with knots, in case you haven't noticed. So if you're using size 8 thread, just be aware that doing multiple knots could clog up your holes. So I think for this one, I am going to leave the knot outside of the hole maybe, so that it doesn't clog the hole. Let me cut that. And I'm just going to bring my needle through this side here. Just to finish that a little nicer. There. Bring it tight. I'm bringing it tight without actually pulling the knot inside. So, there. So that's what you have. Okay, so now, let me double check my... Yeah, it's been a while since I did this. So I think at this point, we are going to put 1, 2, 3 beads. No. You know what? I'm just looking in the initial design, I actually put an 11-0 under the fire polished. So that part I skipped. But you know what? It's not a big deal, because what ended up happening is you had this weird kind of poofy thing happening here. So I think we'll just skip that section. So now we're going to leave it 4. Where are we? 1, 2, 3. Okay. We'll do 3, and if it needs a 4th one, we'll add it after. So pick up 3. So you're coming out of this hole here up top, and you're going to go through the next gem duo hole like this. Then you're going to pick up an 11-0, a fire polish, an 11-0, and your next gem duo. So yeah, we're coming down from the bottom. So you're coming out of the bottom hole here, and we've added yeah, that's what I did. So since we're coming from the bottom here, we're going to go into the bottom one here, like that. And I'll pull it through so you can see what I've got, but we're going to add some more stuff on there. Okay. So that is going to sit like that. So of course we need another 11-0. I'm starting to think this isn't as easy as I thought it was. But part of it is because I did it 2 weeks ago, first time ever designing it. So of course it's confusing. I apologize for that. Okay, so let's take a look at what we added. So we came out of this hole, we added 3 11-0s, went through this hole, then we added an 11-0 fire polish. These are 4mm in case I didn't say. 11-0 gem duo, 11-0 fire polish, 11-0, and pull it tight like that. So that's your next set. So now of course we're kind of mirroring the other side, so we're going to do a 3 11-0s, and we're going to go through this hole here. And so this is where going through this with your needle is where it gets a bit sketch. My recommendation is try not to go through too many, like to go through all of them. If you can, that's great. But you're going to get frustrated at some point and you're going to end up busting your needle, wrecking your thread. So we still have to go through this one. Like that. So we are going to work from left to right in the sense that we're going to build it going this way. So what we need to do now is to go through all these beads, and what that'll do too is you see how we added those 3 and they're kind of creating this bit of an arch. We kind of want them to sit like that, so we have to get over here anyway to add the rest, so we're just going to go through. So we're coming out of this hole and we're going to go through everything, and you can do it in multiple passes like that. So now, so you see they're all nicely straightened out. So go through your fire polish and your 11-0. Then go down through your gem duo hole, and now you're going to add your you're going to add the 3 beads plus your gem duos. So 1, 2, 3 11-0s. They're going to go. Yep, 3. So now you need to pick up 2 gem duos to create the next diamond. So set them up. So this one will go through here, and then it's going to go through that same gem duo, but through the other hole, and then you're going to grab this one here like that. If you get confused, just remember, when you have multiple hole beads, you're often going in circles. So you see how I came through here and then I went there? Well, now I'm going to add the beads that are missing here. These 3 beads, and do a circle, come out, and then we're going to change the circle like a figure 8. So add 3 11/0s and go through your first hole of that first gem duo that we just added, like that. Pull everything through. Now we're going to go through these 3 11/0s, like that. And we are going to go through everything again, like that. And we're going to add our fire polish to the top. Now you can go back again to straighten this out, but there's other opportunities to get those all straight, so don't worry right away about that. So let's pick up our fire polish, 11/0 fire polish. So we are coming out of the first hole of this top gem duo. So you see we're going to come out into this section here. We need our next gem duo, so set it in the position, go through. I'm going to slide that one on, and then I'm going to come back and go through this hole of that second one to complete that larger diamond shape. Here's the thing with this design, you can do just this as your bracelet. It looks amazing. So we're going to add the same over on this side. So let's grab our fire polish, 11/0 fire polish, and go through this hole. So you're coming out of this hole, you're going to go through this hole and try and pass through everything. No big if you don't get through. Definitely take a look at where your needle is going, because sometimes you think you're passing through a middle bead and it's actually not, and you'll see at the end. And I think I did it on that one where the thread runs across here. So let me see if I can show you that one. Yeah, it's hard to see. So if I can't find it, it's not a big deal. But yeah, it might have been a different bracelet. But I was like, really? So frustrating. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through my fire polish that I just added. Go up through that fire polish. There. Go through here. I'm going to do another set. I'm going to try going a little bit quicker. I just want to say I really enjoy doing these, and I enjoy showing you how to do it, but I want everybody to try it too. So if it looks complicated, please let me know and I'll clean it up a bit. I'll do another video and I'll just, get it to the bare essentials. No chitter chatter. But I know a lot of people say, when I say that, people are like, no, we like the chitter chatter. So I'm picking up 3 11/0s. We're coming out of this hole here. We're going to go into this hole. Sometimes what happens is I try and explain why we're doing things, and you know what? Sometimes you just want the person to tell you the next step. And I get that. So if you're polite about it and let me know, I have no problems in redoing it. But the thicker thread too, I'll tell you, has a mind of its own because it's so thick. It's annoying. But let me tell you, I think we picked the right colors. What do you think? This looks crazy. It's very regal. Okay, so now we want to add this section here. You know what? Sorry, we forgot to put the 3 here. I knew I was jumping the gun. I'm so excited. I want to show you. Okay, so let's go back to this hole. So we're coming out of this one. We're going to go into this one and we're going to pass through as many beads as we can. Actually, you don't want to go through the fire polish because we're going to go to the next component. Like that. So this happy mistake of not putting the 11 O's at the base of the fire polish, I think works. It looks so much better. So go through your 11 O's. Now this is what I would call a figure 8. So you're going to go up here. So go through your hole like that. I'm going to pull my thread out a bit because that tail, I had it quite long and it's getting in the way. Okay, so we need a couple more of these. I have more in a tray, I just didn't think we were going to be doing that many. Okay. Oh, we don't need them right now anyway. Fire polish. So we need an 11O, a fire polish, an 11O, and then a diamond. So set it in the same position as the others. So you're going to come up through the top left hole. Like that. And you're going to pick up an 11O, a fire polish, and an 11O. Like that. We're going to come back through this hole here. Like that. So there is the beginning of your next set. So come back through the 11O, the fire polish, the 11O, and just pull it tight. Go through. And like I said, you can go through these multiple times to secure everything, but with this thick thread, I don't think you need it. So now we are going to pick up, let me see here, we need these guys for sure. So we're going to put 3 11Os. 1, 2, 3. You can use the smaller check seed beads. I found that the Tohos, they're slightly longer and tubular. They worked really well with this design, but as you can see, there's areas where they get like a little puckered and stuff. I think the smaller check 11Os would sit nicer, but I didn't test it, so I can't really tell you for sure. So we've got 3 11Os. We're coming out of this hole here. We're gonna go into the bottom hole, first hole of this second gem duo. We're gonna go through the second hole, the bottom of that first gem duo we put on. Then we're gonna go through this hole here like that. Create that part of our diamond. Secure. We're going to add 3 11Os because we're going to go back around. So coming out of this hole here, we've got 3 11/0s. Go through the first gemduo. And you can see, like, you can start to hold your work. And once you get used to where things are, they'll sit perfectly. So you know, oh, okay, I need to have my other bead gemduo there. So let's go through these 11/0s. Like that. I am going to go back around. I'll tell you why, because if we were to add our fire polished here, this thread's going to pull on this 11/0. It's going to pull it up. You kind of want this to go flush on the bead, so you want to go back through everything. And it also reinforces your diamond shape. And if you really want to go to town, you can go back through this again. We'll do it for this one. I think the thread might be a bit thick for doing the type of passes that I did before. So like that. So you see how it's nice and straight on both sides. So let's go through here. And it went through one of the 11/0s, no big. That. Go through the other 2. Like this is my vision stuff. Not the best. Okay, so pull everything tight. That. Okay, so we're going to go through here. We're going to add our fire polish like that. Pick up a fire polish. One 11/0 and a fire polish. You're coming out of this hole. You're going to go into this hole like this. So now your thread is right here. We want to add our next diamond in that position. Move it over in the position that I want it. So I'm going to take my needle, put it through here, then go through the next gemduo, and like that. So let's add a fire polish, an 11/0, and a fire polish. That. And go through these guys again. Pull it in snug on both sides. Okay. So now we are going to do the next step, which is, let me double check. We are going to put the superduos in this area here. So let me just take a look at how many seed beads we added for that. So if you look here, we have the fire polish on the top and bottom, in between those 2 spots. So we're going to do a 11/0, 3 fire polish, or 3 superduos, and an 11/0. Then we're going to go up this side, and we're going to put 1 11/0 in between each to give it that fan look. And you're going to do that up and down your bracelet. So if you have your long bracelet, all of this is done. So this is what I was saying about this design here. At this point, this could be your bracelet. Like, this is really nice. So you don't have to do anything further, but each step of the way, it just looks amazing. So we just came up through the gemduo. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through these 11/0s. So go through the 3 11/0s and get my needle through like this. Try and keep it so you can see. So then go through the 11-0 next to the fire polish and come out of the fire polish. Like that. Pick up an 11-0. Let's move these guys over. So pick up an 11-0 and 3 superduos and an 11-0. So this is what you have. Okay. You're coming out of this fire polish. You're going to go to the other side of the fire polish and go through it. And you can come out through the next 11-0 because we're going to go up here before we add the fan part. So you can see this looks amazing. What? This is fun for me too because first time seeing it with the different color. You know, I used to always put silver metallic with blue colors like this. But oh my gosh, look at the gold, it's so blingy. I love it. So now we're going to go up through the 3 11-0s. So we already went through the one next to the fire polish. And this section here, let me see what I put. I think I may have put 2. Yeah, so I put 2 11-0s on each side and 1 in between. So let's pick up 2 11-0s like that. Go through the first super duo. Threads doing its thing like that. Oh, this is going to look amazing. Pick up 1 11-0. So you're coming out of the first super duo, you're going to go through the second. Careful not to cross your thread. I do that a lot. It's annoying when you start to get tired and do that stuff. Pick up another 11-0, go through the next super duo, the third one, like that. Pick up 2 11-0s. I'm just going to turn this, make it easier. And we're going to go through the edge here, or these top beads. I'm just going to go through the 3 because we're going to cross over to the other side so we can do the opposite side. So if you're doing this on a long bracelet, what will happen is if you start at this end, you can go all the way down that way and then come back around, turn it like I'm going to show you right now and go all the way. But because our thread was in this position, it tends to, when you get to the end, you tend to be one back from the end of what you're doing, which is not a big deal because then we'll just go through here, go all the way down, make a turn, go all the way back. And as you can see, you don't need to add anything after this. These are looking spectacular. You could have just that as your bracelet. So let's go ahead and go to the other side. So that's why I only went through the 3, because our whole position for the gem duo is in that third position. So go through that, like that. And you're going to go through the 11-0 and the 4mm fire polish. So we can add our super duos, our super duo, as they say in French. I don't think that's how they say it. Let me double check. Okay, I need my, I knew I was missing something. I need, you probably don't have to. You could probably put your superduos right on the fire polish, so you probably don't need these two here, but it looks nice. It looks special. So very special. Okay, I've got 11-0, 3 superduos, and an 11-0. We are on this side of the fire polish. We're going to go to the other side. Without doing this kind of crazy mess. What the heck is that? What kind of YouTube silliness is that? Is it like watching knots, tangles, and such? I have an appointment with my psychiatrist tomorrow. I have a feeling I need to divulge. My mood has improved a lot. I was, when we started getting cold weather, my mood was really crappy, and then all of a sudden, it's spectacular, which is great, but gotta keep an eye on it, I guess. So, I forgot to tell you, I just went through the 3, so you're always going to be at this top end of the 3 next to the fire polish to create your little arch. So pick up 2. That bottom one looks a bit janky. That's better. So 2 11-0s, go through the first super duo. Like that. Pick up 1 11-0. You're coming out of the first super duo, go into the second one. That. Do that again. That. And pick up 2 11-0s. Like that. Go to in between the fire polish and your first set of 3 11-0s. And you can go through as many as you want so that you can get to this side here, to the next one. So let's see. Let's do it in a couple of steps here. Get that in the position. My thread is just... Okay, so look at that. Isn't that crazy? How beautiful is that? Okay, just going to turn it so that we're going to go through the 11-0, through the fire polish. Now, at this point, this is where I go ahead and, so you can go through the multiples of 3 that I added to the diamond or the gem duos. So I can go up here, up through the diamond duo. If you don't want to do that, just go straight to this fire polish. Okay, so go through everything. But what that is going to do for me is I'm going to straighten out that one that's not straight. So this one's straight, but I'm still going to go through. So just remember your 11-0 that's next to your fire polish is on the other side of your thread where this hole is. So don't pick up 4, just go through the 3 like this. There. I don't want to cross my thread over my gem duo, so I'm going to go up and through the 11-0, down, and then go through the 3, and you can go through the 4th 11-0. I'm going to do it separately. But that way, look at it, totally tucks it in nicely. So then go through your 11-0 and just your fire polish. So you might have to move that bead over with your nail. And this will get hooked up a lot because of everything that's sticking out. Okay, we're ready to add our super duos. So pick up an 11-0, super duo 11-0. Oh no, sorry. 11-0 and 3 super duos. And then 11-0. So this is what you need. You're coming out of this side of the fire polish, you're going to go into the other side. Like this. And I'm going to go up through all of these seed beads to fan out my super duos. And just flip that up into position like that. Pick up 2 11-0s, go through the fire polish, or the super duo. I don't know why I keep calling it fire polish. Pick up 1 11-0, go through the next super duo, 1 11-0, go through the next super duo. That. And I'm just gonna, there, nice and tight. Then pick up 2 11-0s, and we're gonna hook in next to the fire polish to these 11-0s. I'm going to, let's see if I can get that through. There we go. Like that. Like that. So now we need to fill this slot with our goodies. And you know what? I'm running out of thread. We may get to see how to add thread. Not that you really need it. So I'm going through the fire polish, the 11-0, like that, and then across on this diamond or gemduo, whichever you're using. So again, your whole position for that is in between the first 11-0 and the second one, so don't forget to pick that up, otherwise you'll end up with a thread. Let me see if I can show you. You'll end up with a thread running across like that through your, nobody likes that. It's not friendship. Okay, and then come out of your fire polish, you're ready to go. Then I know these are dark, I just want to make sure you see it all. Okay, so pick up an 11-0, 3 super duos, and an 11-0. You're coming out of this side of the fire polish, you're going to go into the other side. And if you can, grab hold of those 11-0s as well, all the way to the top. So you see how you start to get really fast with this. Like one step leads into the next. And pick up 2 11-0s, go through the first fire polish. Totally missed that. Untangle it there. Just like that. Pick up an 11-0 and another 11-0. That. And now we need 2 11-0s. Go through this thread. And you can go through the 11-0s to get back down. Oh, it's got tangled. There we go. Like that. Wow, this is, so again, you can, this could be your bracelet. Let's show you what it looks like. And here's the other thing. If you don't have a lot of these supplies, like if you don't, excuse me, if you don't have a lot of the gemduos, you could do a set of 3 or a set of 4 or a set of 5 of these diamond shapes, and then put a piece of chain on it for the rest of your bracelet. I've seen that done with some of like the Baroque cabochons and stuff like that, where they're kind of expensive. You don't want to use, 20 of them on a bracelet. So you could do something like this and maybe put some 11 O's on the edge and do something different. So there's lots of options. Now let's, we do have enough thread here. So I will put one across. Let me see which way is the best way to go. Be nice if we could. So our Swarovskis or Preciosas are going to go from the tip of the fire polish where you see the 11 O's over that way. So I am going to bring my thread back down. So I'm going to go through my gemduo. I just flipped it the other way so it's easier to get in, and it's not making it easier. Like that. So I'll just show you the one side. Let me bring this thread out a bit. Isn't this crazy? So I had a full wingspan, and then I did something like a demonstration thing, so part of it was cut off, and it wasn't a lot, but I guess it was enough. So let's go back up to these fire polish. So you can see it's starting to get sticky. We've already gone through this at least twice. Okay, now, so we want to be coming through here on this one, this way. So from this side down. So to do that, we are going to go up through the fire polish. And this will kind of adjust them as well to keep them down a bit. Go through the 11O, go through the fire polish and through all your gemduos, and it'll come up. So through the fire polish like that. And now we're going to go through the 11O and we're going to add Swarovski. So let me see how many beads. I did 3 11Os and 3 Swarovskis. So pick up. This could be different depending on what you're using, if you're using smaller beads. So just get them on and I'll show you how to measure it. So pick up 3 11Os. Pick up a crystal 4mm bicone. Pick up an 11O. Pick up another crystal, an 11O, another crystal, and 3 more 11Os. Get those on there. So this is what you need. This is from the needle sticking me. Checking my blood sugar. My beading blood sugar. Says I need more beads. Oh, I guess I'll have to shop for more beads. Oh my goodness, look at that. So what I was going to say is, rather than go through that bead, you can just go ahead and put it next to it and see how it sits. But you know what? It's exactly where I want it. That is amazing. Okay, so now, so this point here, you can go ahead and string all the one side, but I'll tell you what I like to do is I like to go through these to anchor this thread, because if you don't, then like if one comes loose, the others will be tight. And so I like to kind of make it, and you can do it just through here. You'll have a thread across, I like to go all the way through. I'm going to do it in 2 steps though. And if you want to add a couple, like see how this is nice and puckered up high? I like it like that. So you can either make it lower by taking out one of the seed beads on each side, or you can like really make it poofy by adding extra beads. Okay, so let's go through everything here and come back around. Let me just get the needle through here. Because the fire polish sit on an angle, see how they're on an angle? Sometimes your needle will get to there and get stuck, so you might as well. So much easier, push it through the gemduos and then do it separate for those. So now I'm going to go back down and I'm going to come through and add the second strand. That. And remember too, when you add the next strands on either side, that this will come down slightly. It's just all poofed up because there's your 11-0 between your fire polish is sitting to the one side. But once everything comes out, it's going to move down a bit. So if you like that poofy, add an extra one. And through the fire polish. If I can see it through the back here. Come through here. Go through that single 11-0. Pick up 3. I should have done the other side. I don't know why I wasn't thinking that. You know what? I want to show you what it looks like from side to side. So let's get this back out. It should be straightforward. Maybe not. Let me get my other side of my needle here. Might be easier if I tried this. Sorry folks, I think we just stuck with this side of it. Oh, I wasn't thinking. But you can see how spectacular it looks. And you know what? I'm sure you guys know your needle, the eye of your needle gets compressed from going through stuff. And I just want to mention that sometimes I say things about certain beading techniques and whatnot. I am not saying it because I'm a know-it-all. I'm saying it because some people are new to beading. So, you know, if you hear me say something, some technique or whatever, and you're like, of course, every beader knows that. Just remember, there's people out there that are just starting this process. And we want to make sure we make room for them too, because it's a lot of fun and nobody should be left out. So I grabbed 11-0, 3 of them, Swarovski 4mm bicone. Look at the sparkle on these guys. And 11-0, bicone, 11-0, bicone, 3 11-0s. Go to the very next set of fire polish and look at that. Oh. So let's take this down and put a knot somewhere. I wonder if I have enough to make another loop. I'm going to try. This is going to be amazing. I think we have enough. 2, 3. And then I'll quickly show you how to add a clasp, like the one I did. Pick up. I need help. I need help. Pick up a bicone, an 11-0, a bicone, an 11-0, bicone. So I already have 3 on the one side, and I'm going to do 3 11-0s on the other side. And we are coming from this 11-0. We're going to go through this 11-0. Wow, there's enough to do the next set too. So this one I'll do without crisscrossing. So 3 11-0s, bicone, 11-0, bicone, 11-0, bicone, 1, 2, 3. Just down there. Go through this 11-0, and let's go through and bring it to the end, and I might just tie that off. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is amazing. Just gonna leave it for now. I'm sure you know how to tie a knot. Oh my goodness. So let's see what that looks like on. This looks a lot better than the silver. I mean, the silver is still really beautiful. Look at this. Let me see if I can adjust that lighting. There we go. Wow. Okay, so there is this beautiful design. Hopefully I'll have this done for you so you can see it in the icon picture that represents this video. That's what I usually do. I'll finish it even though the video is done. I'll finish it and then use it as part of the picture. But you'll definitely see this one. So let me show you. So this is what we're going to do. Again, we left the diamond shape there. So we're going to add these little kind of partial flowers there using the superduos. And we're using these matte gold 3mm round glass beads, Aztec gold. That's one of my favorites. So these I got from Jill Wiseman. Now it says 50. I think there's more than 50 in here. I may have had 2 sets, but no, you know what? Yeah, I think there's more than 50. Anyway, these Tic Tac containers I bought for storing beads. I didn't particularly like them. It was I didn't know where, like, how to store them so I could see stuff. So I just have these kind of things in there so I can grab them quickly. So let's grab 2 of these. 1, 2. And we need, so we don't need, let's move some of this stuff out of the way. So we need the other side of our clasp. And I did put a needle and thread on, and I actually have it threaded, so that's good. And we don't need these. Okay. Let me show you what I have. This is weird. I moved this around so much that it got tangled. Look at that, a knot. An actual knot. That is not right. Just a hint, when you're doing beading and you put your needle down and your thread, and you go to pick it up, you know, you go to make yourself a cup of coffee or something, just check your thread, because what'll happen is you set it down and it's all curled, and it just like it did there, it was in a knot, and then you go and you pull through something and you're like, why is there a knot? I'm just speaking from experience. Okay, so you want to position yourself in, come through, so see how we have, these are crystals, come through here, this is our 11-0 that's attached to these two fire polish. So you're going to go through there. Now, this is not attached to this. So if you're going to do that, make sure you go down through your work and come out the other side and go back up and come through. Just saying, you don't want to be using what's going to attach to your clasp as part of this strand that's holding your crystals. If it ever breaks, you're going to lose all your crystals. Now, I totally made the bracelet on its own, and then I added thread, so that's how I got there. Now what you're going to do, and let me just say, this is the clasp I'm using. I got this at Beebeecraft, and I think I just did an unboxing for that. So these are gorgeous, definitely worth it. They have a nice chunky lobster claw, so, and they have an extender chain on it as well with the little thing. So this way, if you don't have enough beads and you can only do 4 or 5 sets of these, then you can extend your bracelet this way. You can, you know, take this off completely and just add a bigger piece of chain if you need it. Okay, so quickly, I know I'm not that quick. Oh, it's not that kind of a video. So pick up an 11-0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 super duos with one 11-0 in between each and ending with another 11-0. So we are going to take this and we're going to go across to this 11-0 here, like that. Now on the other side, I added everything separately, and it was a pain in the butt trying to get my thread through everything. So I would highly recommend you do it this way, put it on with the one, and so that is your top hole. So try not to pull it too tight, like this, because these, the bottoms, are going to go here and here. You're going to have 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Let me see if I can get that. 1 and 3, like that. So, sorry, you could start from the bottom part if it makes it easier, but I started from the top because going through all of this was really challenging. So I'm going to go through the first fire polish next to the 11-0 that I just went through, and I'm going to come down through the 11-0 that's there. If you didn't add 11-0s like we did in the last one, just come out of the fire polish, so like that. And what I'll do is I won't bring my thread all the way tight, because like I said, these are gonna tuck in. That should do it. So now what you want to do is you want to go through your fire polish or your super duos. Go through 3 of your super duos, like this, like that. Then you're going to come through your top diamond, like that. See how it popped in? Now we're going to go through the fire polish. So go through the open holes like that on the other side. Pull through. And flip those like that. There we go, nicely. So now I'm going to go through. The bottom one comes from the bottom of the, did I go through the 11? Oh, let me see here. Yeah, I did. Okay, so go through the 11-0 underneath your fire polish. Let's see if I can grab that guy. Grab that rascal. There. And we're going to go through the fire polish as well. But it just did its own thing. Not listening to me. Look at that. Oh, it's lovely. Go through the fire polish. You could put another 11-0 here. There seems to be a space on both sides. So, or you could start out with two 11-0s. I think we might even need a third. Let me see. So yeah, you could probably put, let me try two. So I would start out with three at the top section here. Let's see what that looks like. I think that looks okay. Let's go through these guys one more time. And then we'll add the clasp to these here. You could start to add your clasp now, but I kind of like to make sure everything's attached and secure before I start, you know, twisting my thread around a loop for a clasp. Go through here, and we're going to add the two missing beads there. Like I'm fishing, I'm catching beads. Pick up two 11-0s and go through this first 11-0 that's the top of the fire polished beads, and there. So it is bulking a bit because of the other, so you could potentially just add one and it would probably slide in there nicely. Okay, let's go through. We're gonna try and make our way back up for the clasp. At this point you could tie off and then retie your thread to add the other part to your clasp so that it's not part of the bracelet. I like to do that, but it's not necessary. So let me see if I can get through this gem diamond duo. Yep. So coming through this major part could be enough to secure your thread so that it's not gonna bother the structure. See what I mean about adding? I'm going to try to go through one at a time here. And that's how I got my stick from the needle. And let me grab my pliers. There we go. There, that's nice and tight. So we're just trying to make our way back up to this section here. Let's go through here. You see how the thicker thread definitely starts to get jammed in. Okay, we are set to go. Go through your fire polish. If I can find the hole. Okay. It's really, there we go. There. Okay. So let's take our clasp. We want to add it here. So probably the second superduo, come out of the second superduo. And don't forget, there is a front and back to these clasps. You see the crystals? So you want to make sure it's the front of your bracelet. Okay, so go through 2 11-ohs and your superduo, the first one. And then you're going to come to the 11-oh and just the superduo. And we're ready to put our thread around the loop. So I think I'm going to put it down through like that and then go through this 11-oh. Okay, let's see where we're going to string. So we'll do the same for the rest. So let's go through the superduo, the next superduo, and just the superduo like that. And make sure it doesn't get tangled in there. Like that. Bring it around. And we went from the front to the back. You can do it back to front, doesn't really matter. It might affect the orientation of those loops, but I think it's not going to make a difference. It's a pretty sturdy loop, and we've got the first position in, so just make sure that doesn't get tangled around. Look at that. Perfect. And actually, the tighter you pull it, those loops will sit at the back, so you don't actually see them. Okay, so now through the front hole, and at this point we can turn around and go backwards. So let's go through the 11-oh there like that. Then just going to turn this, make it easier. So I want to do it at least twice. This thread is really sturdy, so you know you could probably get away with once, but you spent time and money on this bracelet, you don't want it to break. So we'll pull everything tight. That. There. So go through the 11-oh. That, and I'm going to see if I can get my needle through the loop. No. Just do it in a couple of steps, I guess. Go through the loop. Okay. Now we have to go through the superduo. I'm just going to bring my thread back and my needle back to the front so that I can get through where you can see it. And go through the superduo, the 11-oh, and we'll go through that loop and we'll tie it off. I think that should do it. It is like you do see the loops at this point. You can do this. So once it's on, you're secure, then you can take it that way and you can, you know, adjust, put your thread through the bottom of those loops, but bring them down to the bottom holes of the superduo, and that will bring it down a bit. But I mean, it looks amazing. You can always add a row of 11 O's there, or some crystals. Sorry, some crystals to hide those loops. You know, it's kind of my little pet peeve. I like them to be somewhere else where I can't see them. Just saying. Let's go through this superduo, through the 11O. Not sure why that's, there we go. And go through here. I'm going to tie off next to the fire polish, and that way it can go in, the knot can go into the fire polish. There's lots of room. So that's, yeah, right there. So let me come around here. I'm going to pick up a thread, but I'm trying to avoid that little thread that we did the oopsie where we didn't add the beads right away, just so that I want this knot to go in. If I attach it to that little thread that's there, it won't go in. So that's all I'm doing. These are like really finicky tips that I'm telling you. So by all means, like the video ended like 10 minutes ago. Sorry, folks. That's just how I roll. Okay, so let's go through this fire polish and go out through the 11O and pull it. Anchors. Oh, we didn't put the beads in. Oh, why didn't you guys tell me? Okay, well, we can do it now. Let me see here. I think we're in the right position for that. Yeah. So let's just come to the front so you can see. So we're right in that fire polish there, so the thread's going to come that way. That's perfect alignment. So grab one of the, these are a 3mm truck, matte gold. I think we'll put it through here. So you have options where you want to line it up. You want to try and get it centered, but look at that. It doesn't get much better than that. And this one doesn't have a hole. There it is. Okay, so let's go through the 11O like that, and I will do a knot and put it in the fire polish. So let's see if we can grab a thread here. Like there. Get that down there. And I always hold my finger on there, and you know what? Earlier I did this and the darn thread jumped a bead and crossed over, and I caught it before it got too tangled. So I'm just gonna pull that through there and cut the thread. And this one's done. So this is what we have. Look at this. Oh, this is amazing. Ta-da. So let's see what that looks like on. So you can close it right there, or you have the extender chain. So my wrist is a 6-inch wrist, so this will fit just about everybody. So there's that, and the one we made. I'll show you when I get done. Thank you guys. I am sorry, an hour and a half. It shouldn't have taken that long. Yeah, well, sometimes it does, right? Let me know what you think, what your experience is with the gem duos and diamond duos. I'm really curious to know. Thanks for watching. Bye.